Hello, Blender folks. Welcome back to the Gnomes. So, I don't have a mouse. I'm using the graphic palette directly today. So today I'm gonna buy a new mouse. The old one that I had was so bad so crappy that when I tried to correct it, open it, fix the button, the left mouse button especially, the rest of the mouse will start to dismantle itself. So yeah, so it ended up I ended up destroying the yeah. Yeah, usually that doesn't happen. In my you can open close it and it doesn't dismantle itself like crazy. This time it happened. So okay, so here we have uh, this main character Dorothy and the rig that is a rig template for others. And I'm considering now for my project, I'm not sure I'll be able to do this, but I'm gonna give it a shot. There is a certain free extension which is Mantis rigging nodes, and turns out that I already tested. Okay, so I have two versions here. So apparently one is they are no more compatible with Blender 5.0, Blender 5.0. Well, doesn't mean that it won't install on, but yeah, probably I think there's a testing beta. I need to know which is the compatible thing. I've been talking to some people there, but in their Discord chat is Node Spaghetti, I call Master Spaghetti, yeah. Very cool guy. So he develops the not so the Discord people on the Discord channel, though, in my opinion, a bit too not very creative. But yeah, different, very different than the good creative. The Master Spaghetti is a guy. He's making this one single-handedly, yeah. But he is studying the college master class. That is crazy. He doesn't have time. So, but this thing is I don't know how they would make the yeah. Certainly there are good people in the Discord channel, but I didn't have a good experience there as I was unfortunately because the well, it may change over time. So, anyways, this thing might be an alternative to Mantis rigging nodes extension, an extension to an alternative to Rigify add-on because it also used the concept of a say which for me it was a bit strange the first time I learned that because it sounded contradictory. For me, I call this is procedural rigging. So basically, you have a node system. I don't have it. I'm not gonna test in this file. I'm gonna make some tests with Blender 5.1.0 with the old version. Let's see if it works. Some old add-ons they still work to some extent, and so because then you can have a node system that you can apply, regenerate, just as Rigify done. It will create bones, and the cool thing is that differently from Rigify done, you don't need to know programming or coding or scripting to Python scripting to build the setups that will be custom setups. So that means you can. It's not Rigify. It's not like it doesn't interact with Rigify. But yeah, so it's very interesting, and there's a YouTube channel. It takes a few time to get used to the main concepts, but it's there are some things that are missing yet. It's under development, but essentially the thing works. The cool thing for that, in my case, because I want this template skeleton or a rig model because it can even include but that would be more complicated. I don't want to carve, just want the skeleton. the armature optic a bit simpler with its bone data. You can automate the generation of drivers. You can automate the generation of the bones, their relations, their bone constraint, their positioning. For the positioning and the base bone parenting between the bones, that would be where the meta rig of Mantis rigging nodes extensions come in handy. And there is a feature that I've been asking directly to Master Spaghetti would be to improve the base feature, the root basal feature that allows, like I have this rig, like say I want it reverse. I don't want a rigging node set up to generate a rig for me. I want the opposite. I want a rig skeleton to generate backwards, right? Rigging nodes in Mantis, rigging node extension. Yeah, so it's like, it's directional, but there is a system that is very simple now, and it was a bit still has bugs, I think, that if you have at least the base skeleton with the position in the bone parenting like that, it can do the like backwards, right? And like, so that will be great, because imagine that means you don't, it could even be good for learning if that thing was fixed sometime and developed to the last pieces. That means that to the last consequence, that means that could also be useful for you to learn how the rigging nodes itself in Mantis rigging nodes extension, like how could your own custom rig skeleton with all its contraption of bone constraints, drivers, bone relations, whichever bone data, even custom properties, how, if you use, how that would look in a Mantis rigging node setup. So that is super didactical, because you're fully engaged with your, otherwise I'd have to rebuild all these setups, maybe not the bones exactly in their position, referential positions here on edit mode, but that maybe the, yeah, all the bone constraints and other transformed relationships. So that is painful, right, to rebuild everything from scratch, but in a different, in a rigging node system. This is why I was asking that feature, but I'm not sure that it will be achieved. It's not a priority, unfortunately. So, but still, I believe now, because I need this reusability, maybe it would be good, yeah, because you can just duplicate this thing, right? But having the procedural thing, this having a feature like rigging, Mantis rigging extension at hand, I could have a default one that is adjustable by the rigging node. So it's like, it's a procedural approach to rigging, although it's not procedural in the sense of programming. It's procedural in terms of, they say it's directive programming, Mantis rigging node extension. But that's not my problem. My concept here of procedural is just, you have a shader editor, then procedural texture made in the shader editor, you have image texture made by image, or let's say analogical or digital. They're organic, they are exported, they are image files. So this is my concept of that I'm using, the concept of procedural that I'm using. I want, why not having a procedural armature object? That is the thing. But I'm not sure for the matter of adaptation of my other characters in the cast. About 20 more characters to build, to model in this style. Of course, I'll change the body shapes, but without changing the mesh topology usually. Oh, lots of limitations currently regarding mesh data. We cannot link partial mesh data in some cases. It's garbage right now, the state of it. I don't know if other software can do that or smart enough, but anyways, Blender cannot. So it's pretty limited in that regard, I think. But okay, we'll survive in this project, this single big model template, and we can, it's okay, we can adapt. Okay, so here there are a lot of things to do. Let's go for the mount rig. I was talking about here the notes here in the you might have read in the, sorry for taking too long here. Let's start here this thing. So basically is the ellipse rolls, right? So this system here has ellipse rolls. I just need to, yeah, so I was doing something here. Revamp face control rig bone collections. Yeah, because why not, right? Actually, it's not just the face rig bone collection. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly fix this as quickly as I can. So I'm remaking all this thing because this has not been helping me very much at this point. I want to reposition that, remake this thing, right? This organization. So essentially, okay, there's no hidden bones here, right? So let's start here. Okay, there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. I've been moving them entirely. Control, because I don't want this setup anymore for the face. Wait. Okay, so these are tweaker, no, not tweaker, these are special. So this is the, why this is not working? Oh, of course we need this, yeah. So this is the sticky lips. No, however, no sys setup here for zipper lips, because I don't care in my character design animation of, at least in this project, this state of the project. I've made a zipper lips in Blender, which is, so this is I found as an inspiration. It's very easy to do the sticky lips. It's just a driver here for the copy location of the bones, right? So you can drive it or not, and then you can have a gradual thing. Of course, then we need the, okay, here. And this is very interesting. I didn't know, because you see, this was an accident. I wasn't thinking about this before, but we can, the sticky lips, like it will be here actually, they can help in making the sticky lips can maybe help in making certain lips shapes, because they would automate the position, right? So it's not anything magical here. It's just that it's changing the location. So it's very smart system, very useful system, and I found out that it can be favorable to certain, like this looks like a purse. This is a bit crazy, folks, what I have here. There are some helper bones which would be causing the resistance of the mesh so that they don't collapse. Yeah, it's not good enough. So the purse shape key, it does exist. I don't have it because it's horrible to model anyway, to sculpt. I hate sculpting shapes. I don't use shape kit. I made the puff cheeks though, just the puff cheeks. So there is I think this here. Okay, I'm reusing the bone here, so I didn't totally complete this puff cheeks. Why didn't the puff cheeks with a shape key? Well, this is an idea from the University Cloud Rig, which I'm using the concepts, some techniques, not the whole setup, but I've adapted. And I'm making the so in that setup, the universal memory, the puff cheeks, it's recommended to do as a shape key. So the shape key is affecting the proxy mesh and the proxy mesh we don't say, but it's below. It's a ghost mesh. It's a shrink wrap target basically. And so we don't want to usually to shrink wrap the bones because that shrink wrapping can cause some havoc in the control rig, even in the mechanism rig or the deform rig, helper deform rig, whatever. Bones are a bit bad for shrink wrapping. We can use, but here I've removed almost everything. Just a few bones here, more in the center, because when the bone gets closer here, it warps because of the shrink wrap bone constraint. So I dumped all that. So just shrink wrapping the mesh is more efficient. And okay, so puff cheeks, right? So why use the shape key as a puff cheek as a shape key, but not as a helper bone, for example, a tweaker bone that we can push, because it would steal waves from this region. And because of this mesh topology, I've tried my best, but it's difficult to get the shapes we want without disrupting the lips or the mouth region or the whole thing. So it is plausible, yeah, but it doesn't compensate. While the shape key smartly bypasses the skinning method, so no stealing waves. So one strategy, one adequate strategy, but still would cause problem, is that we could have very low waves on the helper bone of the puff cheeks or whatever. Deform bone of the puff cheeks, it would be very low waves so that it will not steal too much from the rest and create wreak havoc. But there's another thing is that needs to be mentioned, that whether it is a shape key or a helper bone, in my case is the shape key, driven by the scale of this bone. Yeah, I'm reusing the bone to have more functionalities. Why it is, yeah, so this is currently not in use, so we're gonna use this, we're gonna lock this. Wrong locking. Okay, so it's just scale and locking. Okay, I can lock this. Yeah, at least the limit scale for. Yeah, so this is stacking functionality. It's already. So I think I'm just gonna do this. I don't want to do this. We're just gonna lock from here and limit location. We don't need this. Oh yeah, yeah. We got. All right, I'm gonna delete this, and yeah, just this is enough. If in the future I want a zipper lips, that will be the X and the minimum and X and maximum X. The thing is that the zipper lips is a bit more tricky in Blender because you need to the control bones, they need to have driver that grow in one direction. So there's a gradual pinching, like a gradual, just like sticky lips. So it's a sticky lips that now if I do the command for the sticky lips, then that's why left and right, right? So you can, this would make this will make, and they are inverted drivers, right? So you need like two drivers for like it's six. It's like let's say we have three top bones and three bottom bones for the, and so like 1 2, this will correspond, well no actually yes, because the driven bones are not these. The driven bones are the ones in the trigger there, so whatever. The control bones, these ones. So you have to the big cubes here, and this is bad, right? We need to change this. It's not gonna help here. It's very different. We want to change this thing maybe to sphere. No, what? I mean, out of. Okay, we're gonna make it square rounded, and we're gonna augment this and maybe just checking what could be better here. No, this is bad, worse. That looks cool. So basically, these are, yeah, it's the position is a bit weird, but that's no, really needs all this. No, this one could be, yeah, it needs to be one. Okay, then we can symmetrize this. Okay, so this is just something to fancy thing to help our bone to make the lips rounded. So the thing here is that, yeah, so the zipper lips would be to affect 1 2, let's say we ignore this one, so 3. It's just the, yeah, it's the tweaker, it's not the control, so it's more noise. So it's like, in my case, that would be at least, you need to drive 8 bones at least, and then you have, so you need 8 for one direction of the zipper, and then another 8. So bone constraint with driver, bone constraint with driver. So it's like 16 drivers. While in this case, for this, I just need, let's see, maybe just 8 drivers. Yeah, basically the drivers here, they are the same, right? Because it's sticky lips, or almost the same. Maybe the lips corner is different. Maybe in the corner we don't even have, yeah, in the corners we don't need, because it's already sticky, right? It's the topology. So this value, can be copy paste drivers, all straightforward in principle. Yeah. So it's actually 1 2 3 4 5 6, yeah, 8 bones, 8 bones effect. And then, but the sticker ellipse, it requires that each column, or in this case, would require a different variation of the drive because of the rate of change of stickiness. So there will be a curve. Some would rate faster depending on the, so you need so still 8 bones. Maybe this could have exactly the same driver, right? That can be fine. It could count as a 1 bone, and or we can have a special bone for it, whatever, doesn't matter. So let's count it just as 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 6, and then you have to have 1 drive. So this would be like 100% or maybe 80% speed. This will be like 50% speed. This will be like, I don't know, 15%. So you need to know, you need to make some sort of rate, different rates. So this will be for one direction, then you need to rebuild, make the driver duplicate for the other, right, where this starts faster, 80%. This will be like 100% with no driver. This will be 80%. That means this will be faster zipped than this will lag behind. So until this faster, slower, and much slower. So in the end you'll have closed everything, and this will be the last to close alongside the bottom. So they are this some sort of symmetrical, right? Okay, so this is how you could make a zipper ellipse in Blender. So let's go back here. We need to organize this bone. So yeah, realize that already that there is nothing here except for this extra. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna move this to the here, because maybe we want, so all controllers are placed like this. So extra face, so whichever that is super detailed on the face, I'm gonna, so instead of having these 2 collections, I'm just gonna have yeah, so I think, is this bearable? Yeah, I think it's okay. Like I have also the control rig for the face. That sounds doable. These are a bit too big, right? But it's not the moment now to adjust this, or is it? Yeah, it could be. Let's try to, or they are too big, or they have exaggerated settings here. Yeah, let's call it. Or maybe I can barely watch this in this background, of course. Seriously, I don't know which color to use here. Let's use the tweaker. Or yeah. Gonna make this yeah, there's little change here. yeah, the shape doesn't contribute to exactly to be so yeah, at least reducing that sounds good. There are some helper bones that are causing weak havoc in this thing. I need to, this is a critical thing. So I've changed this setup here. Now this these ones. What's happening here? Okay, so we set. This is at the bottom, yeah. Oh yeah, I want to sharp. Okay, so there are some guys who propose, some riggers who propose to have deform bones tweakers for the arcades or teeth. Besides that, I'm interested in having the sharp tooth expression. Maybe not, yeah. So we need to do something here. It's not for now, but I think that will be very cool because you have, yeah. So arcades, depth, tweaker bones, arcades, sharp T shape key. Shape keys or shape key? More geometry if required, if necessary. You see, this is why taking notes, because I had this in my mind, but I was often forgetting because it's just a detail for this particular character. Is not the one that needs this all the time, right? Other characters in the cast have got this. So here's the trick. These bones, they carry the lip and arcade top, while this just the lips, the bottom, yeah. This carries the arcades. We don't see very well, but if you see this, the arcades are deforming, both of them. So this drives slight effect, but we can exaggerate it. What it does is that it would make, maybe I have to readjust, but I'm not sure. So it will not scale, it will just drag the deforms, right, to the sides for this smart adaptability, if we can, of the character design. So I don't need to pose an automation, right? This is just the side lip, but this is the side lip and the, you see that no, it's a basic scaling, yeah. So this is where a tweaker could be better, because you see it's scaling in both directions, which might not be that, it could cause some problems, but right now it doesn't cause too much problems. So it's very usable for at least simpler case use. It's already beyond simple, right? And this arcade is very crazy because this is the setup that I made. Well, not time for this now. So they are shrink wrapping and then solidifying backwards. So actually there's a disadvantage on this, is that yeah, it can cause wreak havoc sometimes, but yeah, right now the lower arcade is suffering because some bone, but I know why some lower bones there are going nuts. All right, we're gonna finish off this bones collections. So this one, you know, is very important to focus, so we need at least something like this on demand. Although for all the controllers, right, I like to have something like very accessible here. We're gonna do this, just make sure that we got okay, apparently it's already there. No, it is not. Control body. Oh, it says the no. Ah, there we go. Oh. Then we have tweakers, which includes the tweaker of the body and of the face, right? The tongue, right? It's very distractive. I want to have the tongue here actually in face extra. So this is just a facility organizer thing. It's empty. Okay, so we have here no, we could, oh yeah, we can do this. Yeah, why not? Let's do this. So let's actually move this face extras to Shift M to the extras. Yeah, so this is way better, more economical. So here, so I'm doing this because these, the more we are fancy, oh yeah, look, it's good to have this, yeah, but at some point this start to become like more things to manage, and that is very bad, right? So including these are probably old, and so I'm gonna remove all this stuff, yeah, because yeah, let's see, physics, yeah, exactly. It was good for a while, but now now that I'm stacking, so that means that okay, we still have to take care with this. I want to remove this. We still have to get the mechanisms here. It's still good to separate them. Handles, sometimes I get them in, usually I get many bones, usually I get them inside the deformation. Many other riggers happen to do that, even if the handles or bones, they are not necessarily deformed bones. And then, so this I never did this, so usually I was separating body and face, but it's just even for during rigging, right, it's not that relevant. And so if you are then you are creating more bones, you have to, there's just no automation for this stuff. Like, you need to be super careful of the decisions. So here we have then the master face, which is empty, and the control. Okay, I'm gonna remove all this. So let's look at this. We have the control, we have the tweakers. Should this be treated as control or tweaker? Because yeah, the problem is right now I don't have too much control just with this. Is pretty bad, right? As you can see, because I've retaken this, but it's just doing what it can do by default, but a little worse because we need to reconsider the automation. Yeah, there are some proportional posing system here, right? I've changed the rest position of the bones, right? Okay, so this is pure parent, so it's the same thing. So we need to fix actually this thing. Good thing to do. So I don't like the, yeah, it's not like this. We need to adapt this automation here. Needs to match the character design, right? But this is not exactly to match the character design. This is actually more to leverage in a regular way. You got it, right? So it's not the same thing. It should not be the same thing. So it's just to have some sort of easy tweaking like this, right? So it's even better if it's more, it's a, oh yeah, we see. Okay, so here I don't know how to, it's because it has a pivotal thing, it's a different setup here. Not sure it is helping in this case, but with this we can also do this. See how this can be useful. This probably was a, right now maybe it's not the best decision because this compromised the rotation too much, right? But alright, this is doing quite well. I don't want to separate this into a different bone constraint, right? So we don't need to rotate it, right? But okay, you know what? Let's do the following. Okay, so now we have something more stable, right? We lost functionality, right? But exchanged functionality, right? So this is where Blender needs more ephemeral rigging features. So I don't want them to move forward, because if I want to move forward, I just have to do this. Now, yes, if I can rotate this, we can have some It's easier to manipulate the mesh. But it doesn't matter, we can still do the following. We can get a fake parenting copy transforms bone constraint with a very low value, and that will grant us the rotational. Yeah, it will be stacking, right? Oh, hold on. It's a mistake. I just want the rotation in this case. It'll be more regular thing. Yeah, more accuracy here. It's just that if in the future I want to change, I want to know that there's a copy rotation, just copy rotation. So, but it could work directly there, except that here we cannot separate the influence of location and rotation. So this is why. Oh, no, I was wrong. We can't do this with this method because copy rotation doesn't get the location, so it's not, doesn't work. It's indeed like this. So pivot, yeah. So the pivot, so that, okay, this will be fine. So it's the same, it will stack the transform, so we need to maybe slightly reduce this a little more. We're gonna, yeah, I can do this, right? And then as we get this one with the correct settings, yes, it's correct settings, to make this. So this now will pivot through the slightly, but if we rotate, we can make this kind of curvature, which is can be nice, right? Of course, you can also. So at least I won't lose the idea, right? Which is actually good to have this on demand. And now I'm considering maybe pivot here as well. Wait, this is the wrong one. Maybe this is a bit dangerous. Not dangerous, like not very useful. Yeah. And remember, these automations, they are stiff, right? Like they are what they are. And so this is not I'm not sure why this thing is. That's probably because of other factors. See, I don't want the. Yeah, something I need to do about the mesh itself, the topology. Yeah, it's a small tweak. Okay, so here I think we got this ready. Let's resymmetrize this. I feel like still gotta. Okay, let's accept this finally. Yeah. Now this one, yeah, we see this is moving. Too much, right? This should be the reverse, right? This should move more, right? Something like this. You see, it doesn't affect the from here because the motion starts from here, right? This stacking events, right? So here, same thing, we want less of this. Maybe somewhere in between, right? Yeah, something like this. Now you see the pivoting, this one is very good. But you're gonna mimic the other again because I think it's more elegant at this point so that we can maintain like in my rig right now. I think this will be better. Like you have two types and you can separate them so you have some all of them are pivotal. No, before you see that doesn't change anything because the influence. So, but this will be more accurate, I guess, in this particular case. All right. Just check here. Yeah, the pivotal is always. So let's see that trace here. For original, okay, this is fine. This is fine. And then we have this. This is, need to revise this one. It's moving too much. Actually, it's like this. Then we can pivot like this, right? So the land, oh yeah, because they stack, so we need to ensure that this is not too much, right? So this plus something like here, right? Yeah, the problem is that this is stacking too much, right? It's almost good. This is being a bit ruinful. want some smoother thing. Maybe this one needs to be stronger than the other. Okay, now we got something very convincing. Could be better, right? But this is good enough. This cannot never be perfect because you see this is an adaptive. You need to, the animator, 3D animator needs to adapt. So rigging in this case sucks, right? It's like you can't do everything for the control rig. It's there's no smart rigging that I know yet, in the sense of rigging is always a very dumb thing, currently in CGR too. And so that's why it's to be a rigger means dumbness. Yeah, you're dealing with pure garbage. So it's a way to become dumber, but in a good sense. Like when we go to school as a teacher, or you interact with well, maybe you're a teacher of anyway, you need to learn to be humble, and that means if you don't, then it's probably terrible for the students, because that will have a cost in their lives. Even if they don't know. So even if they like you. So basically the thing is that rigging requires this very crude analogy, right? But requires this kind of dumbification. You need to tell Blender, not a person, right? But you need to tell the Blender everything. And you can't tell everything because we don't ourselves know everything, so it's a waste of time. We just get what the basics, like, okay, this is good enough, and that is the maximum I can do. This is maximum I will do for this automation here, unless there's a critically more interesting idea or extra idea or variation of this setup in the corner that might help. For me, this is the way to go. And this is just the same stuff here, right? It's just parented offset, so this is pure parenting, I think. Let's see. No, not even that. This is actually through a bone constraint. And why is that? Oh, they are. It's pivotal. It's interesting, right? Yeah, it's interesting to pivot the whole thing. Maybe we should change this one. Okay, but first let's see, resymmetrize this. So if it works, it works. If it's not, I'm not gonna bother. We're gonna keep them different. It looks like we it's okay to benefit from this pivotal now for all the bones. So this for the the main controller, that is. Actually, I don't understand here what is this doing. Why it is main eyelid, main eye. It's not possible that main eyelid. Yeah, main eyelid, not main eye. So how come? It is translating into custom space. Yeah. Very curious. I didn't know this. So basically, although these are not bone constraint to this, but bone constraint immediately to this, and this bone constraint immediately to this, this transforms the bone constraints pathway space. So it makes all of them behaving like, even though in this case this one is already doing this. Okay, so it's not like I need to change this. Let's keep those secondary, but this is very interesting. So because this grants this is like procedural. No, this is not ephemeral rigging, but you see, it's just one tweak, one change here. Custom space. Very curious situation here. I have no idea about this. Now all of them are pivoting, even though it's going for this bone, and then this bone is redistributing this custom space of fake parenting. Otherwise, they just rotate in the same pivoting point, except this one, which has the additional setting, right? But super interesting, right? So, so yes, totally, we want the custom space, right? So here we gonna symmetrize this, and in principle, the values here these values, I'm not sure I'm gonna, let's see, this is, don't dare to change this too much, but let's see. Yeah, this should not be that much, I guess. If it's too much, that could be dangerous, right? Yeah, counterproductive. Yeah, so small is better here because it gives more versatility. As for this, looks like it's a bit too big. So reduce this. So we can just rotate this a lot. But there is a conflict here of interest because this also controls these ones. So we need to be a bit careful about the, yeah, in principle, they will never match, right? We need to find something that is more or less equilibrated, right? This can move on their own, but I don't have one just for this, which I'm sort of missing. But you know, more bones to bone constraint is not super good, right? The reason we want this whole thing is because it can help, but at the same time, this is not very ephemeral. Ideally, what we want is to be able to select a bone that is not a bone. It's wow, this is a good concept. A ghost bone. I need to write this down. Yes, exactly. So we want a bone that is a new kind of bone, that is a bone that can keyframe the change of its child, or by bone constraint or by drive. There are dependent bones. It will be the case when this controls not through parenting but through soft parenting, through bone constraint only, these bones here. And then as we pose this bone, it changes them, but it doesn't keyframe itself because it's a ghost bone, but it will keyframe them. It will change their transforms, local coordinates. It will automatically transfer, or it will be changed. Yeah, it will be affecting their local. So it's like redirective ghost bone. Yeah, so the ghost redirective local coordinates keyframing from the ghost bone to its and so that would mean that you would never have to care about, just care about posing the bone. You don't care about keyframing the bone because it's a ghost bone. So you want that would be more like ephemeral rigging. So I'm gonna write down this proposal in right-click select, and yeah, way to go. So let's now see this other one. This is maximize. This is this thing, right? It's not necessarily any good here. It's a bit too strong. I don't like it. So why then this and not a parenting relation? Because the parenting relation use a different pathway of transforms. The pathway of transforms of the parenting relation is horrible for automations, like soft automation like this, right? Like proportional posing automation like here, because it will ruin everything, because it's stiff, right? So it's garbage. That's why all these systems why this is there just because we have a I need to reset that. Okay, so the heels leverage setup. Okay, then let's see. I was doing this. Yeah, I need the pivotal thing here, I believe, because otherwise it would not do. So here I don't have too much choices. But this is not just about rotation, right? This is about all sorts of tweaking that is, I don't know, I saw this in the read, so I wanted to try to make it sound that for certain tweakings it could be interesting. But technically, for animation, really myself, I'm not sure how I would use this. Yeah, like it's so small, it's like you have to take care about. It's like when you decide to scale a bone, you're controlling the limb, but then you okay, there's a bit volume loss here, or there's some the shot doesn't look good here. Let's scale this bone, right? So you make this tweaking, something more in this jar. I don't know how I'm able to do this without the mouse because, well, I know, but it's tedious, right? Okay, yeah, I'm used to the the mouse is easier than the graphic card. Okay, we got this. Let's just resymmetrize this, and let's consider that these tweakings. Oh, actually, extras. Hold on, let's get. Should we? This is extras. Yeah, they shouldn't be here, but whatever. The extra is really extra, so we'll simplify. Yeah, this is totally locked bomb. This is also. Maybe it's physics bones. Should I change this stuff? Not sure. Looks like I've lost some. No, it's correct. It's just I don't see very well the difference of color. Oh, there it is. There's a different pattern here, right? Let's also change this. We can adjust from here directly. The sunlight is reflecting on the screen. Well, what they got? I don't know which value is changing to be fair. Doesn't seem to be. No, this is something else. Envelope distance doesn't matter. We're not using this. Envelope weight, not this. So radius head. Copy to selected, and then tail. Okay, for some reason I'm... Okay, let's use this. This. Let's do again here. Yeah, I don't want to deform them so much, but just give them some distinction here so you can recognize them a little better. Okay, that sounds good enough for me. Then extra face, no, why? Extras, yeah. Okay, remove this. Then we pick all of this just to make sure. Make sure get everything selected. And Shift M to control all controllers. Yeah, there we go. Everything of this here. Now we want to get mechanisms, so we're going to do the same thing here. All the mechanisms, they might be disorganized a little. Let's just double check here what we got. So we got some mechanisms, base mechanisms, skeletons, then we get face skeleton. No, we don't need this. We're gonna bring them to the base. Yeah, we're gonna bring this to the none of this should be, yeah, actually none of this should be right. Double checking, maybe there's something hidden. Copy this one. So this all these bones, no, not all these bones, this face thing, they go to the Alt M. Making a skeleton, remove, then you have rolls. This is older setup, yeah, so move to mechanism skeleton. Then we have I key, which yeah, like is probably not a good one. Yeah, so I think wire in this case. It's hard to see, but it's maybe better. Okay. Or the how many are there? There's the NP and the mechanism IK owner. Let's see if it's not stacking too crazily. Mechanism IK owner. Okay. Then we have auto mechanism foot. Auto foot, it is auto foot. I don't remember what this is about. Something I did I don't automatic foot. whatever, that doesn't matter. We got this, and then we have mechanism key. Just check if we. Oh yeah, there are some extras here which would be very annoying to. Yeah, I think. Okay, whatever is key, let's bring it to the. Yeah, whatever is related to key, let's just. This, for example. Yeah, but there's no key bond constraint here. And let's treat still this as a key rig. Okay, this is right. This mechanism foot is not for a key. Okay, change. I've made up my mind. We're gonna move this to skeleton. It's not key related. This is auto key related. Oh, this is the right one. Okay. Pintos. It is found nowhere. Okay, this is. Oh, of course, this is actually a control bone. That's why it's not here. Okay, let's not place it here then. And this could lead to some confusion. Let's move entirely this to the other one. Okay, apparently we got a problem here with this. We need mechanism all. So like this. No, it's all mechanisms. So select all these, Shift M to all mechanism, and here we're gonna so take them out of here. Okay. Is empty. Oops, something went wrong. That's that just because we don't. No, indeed. Oh, they are all here. Okay, so this was my mistake. Yeah, right before this change, so we want this here. Select everything. Shift M. Take off from here everything, that's correct. As we get these ones, all mechanisms should be here. seems correct. Then here is just the distinctive part. Let's see. So here in this mechanism skeleton, we don't want this, and we don't want okay, all this is not mechanism, I guess. Yeah, that's it. So this we're gonna move. Mechanism I key. No, still not. Yeah, we need to remove them also from here. There we go. Now, oh, didn't work. Shift M to mechanism I key. Now that all right, we got them. We got this. We got this. Full automation. We got this and the fingers there. The main skeleton. Yes. Now we can work. Reddit. And for the form, the management, it's another entire category. So let's see. Dendrils, bones. That's his bones with stretch to bone constraint. Bone constraint that will ruin the any apply scale to the armature object. Not that it's good to know, right? Maybe they can they can cause other trouble. Like it's good, like you need to bendy bones. I need to collect all the bendy bones. So this is like we take riven bones. Yeah, revise, check, revise riven bones. That is bone, whichever bone that have driver. So you can not track them down, but yeah, track them. They are already tracked. You have to do that manually. Feet stance. Bones. Bones that relates to feet stance. And not necessarily. And structural bones. Yeah. Bones that are used for very deep stuff, deep shit. Essentially, that's the deep shit. So yeah, so this one seems to be right. I don't need any more than that. The feet stands, I think we can collect them right now. Be like this. Yeah, let's do this. Anything missing? Well, these are the basal bones, so I think that will be just fine. There is, yeah. these ones. They sound like this. They need a special. Not of all of them has the same settings. Yeah. Maybe we'll have to change this then. Z-axis up will lead to revamping. Yeah. The driver. Crap. But yeah, we can do this. Okay, it seems that it is well enough synchronized, right? But then it works. Okay, better like that. It's a full copy, right? Or copy location. Copy location. So it's pervasive to all access, so no problem about. Okay. That's good. Let's go to the. Yeah, we need to bring these structural bones to. No, it's not structural bones. These are the feet stance related bones. I'm gonna move all this. Oh, yeah, these ones too. All right, so we're gonna shift M. Just one thing here, I want to move this up. Something is going wrong. This is wrong. It is having I think it's this. It's a mistake, yeah. Unless we could make it bypass, but there's no way to do this, I think. we cannot leverage this. So I don't know any way that it could be made to ignore the space. Yeah, it will apply the space of, no, we need to remove this. This bone specifically. Also, since we got here, let's also use this so that we can follow up, right? There, it's not over, we still need to I suspect now if we move this up, it's over. Unless, okay, I'll just make a test here. It's probably gonna fail. Yeah, of course we want the x-axis, I think. Is in the wrong. Yeah, doesn't work. We need to just I need to run pause mode to make sure. Exactly, so it cannot move like that, same problem. Because this bone used the features of the so they don't need to be included, yeah. Custom shape the widgets. Pivot thing, the new feature of Blender 5, super useful for this kind of setup of the yeah, the widget is actually here, but custom space, no, it's not like this. It's here, the override transform, right? The affect gizmo uses pivot so that this system allows here to make sort of a partial IKFK rig without, because this one doesn't move. Yeah, we can pause, but this is incorrect. We want actually to, this will produce ballistic rotation, F key behavior, and it works. What it doesn't, what this doesn't allow to do is to, for this limb. So here it's not F key. Yeah, it's F key, but it's not ballistic. We'd have to, then this could cause wreak havoc in sometimes in the yeah. So this is the only thing you need to be careful. It works, right? We need to make interpolation like for, but it's not all the time that we'll need this, right? This is way more important, right? So we can still do this, it just need to be manually done. So one keyframe here, then one keyframe here, start, end, and then you break down with some distance, and then you have an arc of motion. That is good enough, right? For me, but we need to be careful when we pose this alongside this, and then if we want to do this, then we might have to be careful when we are manipulate, but it seems to be quite good, right? So this is also works for the legs. So this is the simultaneous IKF key setup that took me forever. Many times I thought, well, it doesn't work. No, it works. It doesn't work. It works. Apparently this is bugged. You need to refresh these settings. Sometimes very, or there's something wrong about them, but I couldn't get enough information about that. All right, so we apparently got this, right? If you scale it down, it would be better, but scaling down is like, yeah, changing all the drivers at this time. No, thanks. This is just a technical stuff. It's not for animation. Well, yeah, animators can use that too. Is we're moving the boots, then putting the actually the boots, yeah. Okay, we get the structural bones. Okay, done. Driven bones, yeah, because why not? Could be driven here. This is driven. No, it's a transformation bone constraint. This one is driven. These are driver bones, but not driven bones. Okay, from this, maybe this one as well. No, because it's a different purpose. It's this one that needs to, yeah, it's driven because, okay, so this goes to driven bones. And that's how we get from this. Apparently, yeah, there are many mechanisms which are driven bones. What about these ones? Yeah, that will take a while to cover. I think this is driven. No, I've managed to find a stacking ways of not having them driven. Then there are other balls that might be driven. Where would be? I think there's no driven bone in the control region like this. Yeah, there's probably not. Maybe when something that might be here. It's more like I use driver appropriately. Good pattern, good to know it. And more to the mechanism rig apparently. Not this, not this, this. Well, unless, okay, here we got it. Now it's already there. There, here we got the soup. This is actually one of those structure dangerous bones already there. Okay, so here, yeah, here you cannot escape, but just one driver. Yeah. About this one, no. The pin joints, they are driven. Yeah, maybe something here that I might be forgetting. I think the drivers we can find in the driver app operator. So this setup here doesn't require driver. Maybe, yeah, the drivers here. There we go. Just one driver. It's here, and I believe it would be here. Yes, just one driver. So this is the custom rig for the it's a bit tricky to build, but it was feasible. It's for this scaling here, so the hand follows or not follows the, and we can still stack transform on top of this, either from this or the tweak hand. So, but the scaling, we sacrifice the scaling here. So here we're gonna get same here. We can do the same for the very handy solution. Now we got more drivers. Yes, driven bones. These tweakers are driven because of the pin joints features, so they need to be set to the management driven bones. Okay, now I really don't know anymore, don't remember which, so we're gonna look for the what I could have done before, but good to practice. Shift F6 twice. No. Let's see. Under lips. Okay, the mouth rig. Knees, always we've been through all this. I key hand, I key hand, I key foot, I key owner. Oh, the anti-scale. Foot. Wait. What is this and why? Yeah, here in this. We had to stack a driver here, apparently. But not here for some reason. Well, they are not equivalent. Totally, it's actually, maybe that's why we had to make this adjustment. So this one also happened to be driven. Solo all, or I have even more. Influence, follow. Okay, we got these ones, right? Mechanism icon is, yeah, I think we got this. Anti-scale foot eye contour. I remember this. Form eye contour. Where is this fucking bone? Ah, yeah. I want to change this setup. I have a better idea, well, not better, different idea that will be more versatile for the rig. More, it will need edit or mix wave modifier. Yeah, it will be stacking the stack. Stacking the stack tool. I hate that, but yeah, it will be more accurate. But I never tried that method. We're gonna try this. So here, management. So ribbon bones and track eyes, master track eyes. There we go. This already. Buff. Yeah, seems to be. Okay, here I suspect we got some trouble because there's the tune, there's this one, many drivers here even. Yeah, this is nuts. This is the worst, but the worst ball in the wait. So this is crazy. This is just to get a, or even, yeah, because here I had to apply some double. Yuck! Yeah, this is just to provide a head pinning that still works with the rest of the automations. There's a lot of cross stuff, and with auto IK option. The most important, of course, is the auto IK option. But if I don't have all this stuff here, then we would lose functionalities. The rig is still used, but it will be inconsistent. The tweaker needs, okay, lips curver. Okay, and then apparently it's just the drivers for the lips, right? And so that means that we need to find these tweakers, and if I'm not wrong, the drivers, they are okay. This is okay because it's the, wait, what is this? Why this is affected by the, okay, so all this contains, exactly, so are there only these ones? Yeah. And probably these ones as well. And these will be the ones affected by drivers. So handle lip, yeah, handle and tweak lips. Yeah, exactly this one, but they know why they're like that. Okay, then yeah, makes sense. There are a lot of them. Center top, lip, top center left, top lips. No, done. Do this have? I want to ruin my selection. Oh yeah, left. They get lip center. I see this one. Lip center. There should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 12, 14 bones here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes, exactly that. So this version revised driven bones, and that's it, folks. We got everything here. So that is the kind of thing that would require some sort of automation, right? Then to get this thing ready, revise dangerous bones. Okay, I'm not gonna bother with the bendy bones because we cannot select per, right? Selection per bone type. Never heard about. Is the name of, yeah, this is the name, right? It's not a property. So this is be a feature request actually. Select per property. Let's take a look. Bendy bone, shape, bone shape, bone display type, right? Bone constraint, right? Because the problem is not so much the fact that it is a bendy bone is worse than that. In this case, there's a stretch to bone constraint. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna ignore that. The dangerous bones. It's very, how to say, it's very circumstantial in ways. And so, why this needs to be on the top? This maybe we, yeah, let's leave at the top. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it's like a supreme hierarchy here. But it's not for the animator. The animator will get a rig UI for this shit. Alright, so we got back. We fixed one big step here forward in the organization of a really good rig template, right? I think it's my time to go, so I wasn't able to even start the but at least we ramped not just the face control but all the control rig, right? So I think that should be sufficient. Gibbs roles automation. Let's just say here. Collection is the revise the dangerous bones. Stretch to essentially. We could also have just the. I don't remember whichever what else could cause problems, but certainly the stretch 2 is one of the main culprits. And then for applying scale of a rig. And that's it, so just a notation here. Lips 12, yeah. I need to go and buy my mouse, also that was what delays my workflow here in Blender. Because it's great to have this for painterly stuff, right? But not for, you know, like for regular stuff, typical stuff. So, folks, thanks for watching. Hope this was useful and enjoyable somehow. And I think I'm gonna stream today because I need to cover more of this thing of the. Also, let's save a backup here. And let's go for the things. Yeah, saving a backup. See you soon and have a nice week, folks. Enjoy.